Alright, so this will be our video on anatomical positioning. I'm going to use our sandworm from the lab and my pig from class. Right now you're looking at the top side of the pig and the top side of the worm. I'm going to turn the pig sideways so we can talk a little bit about different positions. If I'm talking about anterior, I'm talking about the head area. If I'm talking about posterior, I'm talking about the rear. If I mention ventral, I'm talking about the bottom or the belly side. And if I'm talking about dorsal, I'm talking about the top or the back side. So for right now, I can't turn the worm sideways like this because you wouldn't see anything. It's really flat. So that's why I'm using my pig. Now here, I'm looking at my pig on the dorsal side, but I can see the anterior head region and the posterior. The worm is set up the same way. So this side is the anterior or head region. This side is the posterior or rear of the worm. Now, if I were to flip this pig all the way upside down, you would see the ventral side. And if I flip over our worm, that's the ventral side of the worm, or the belly side of the worm. Again, this side is still anterior, this side is still posterior, but now we're looking down on the ventral or belly side. All right, along with this, during your dissection, I'm going to be giving you a couple of instructions. They sound like technical terms, but they're really not that bad. So one of the other terms you're going to need to know is longitudinal. Longitudinal just means long, so it's going to be a long cut, or transverse, which is just side to side, okay, left to right. So it just kind of depends. Like longitudinal would be a long cut this way, transverse this way. Same thing, long, transverse, side to side. All right, so you're going to combine it with the other terms. So if I ask you to make a dorsal, anterior to posterior longitudinal cut, that means dorsal, anterior to posterior longitudinal cut, it would look like that. If I asked you to make a ventral, posterior to anterior longitudinal cut, it would look like this. So again, I know they sound pretty technical, but if you just break them apart into its pieces, it's not that bad. So again, ventral side, and then I tell you, is it posterior to anterior or anterior to posterior? So let's try a different one. So I'm going to go dorsal, posterior to anterior longitudinal cut. So again, this is a dorsal, posterior to anterior longitudinal cut like that. All right, so on your earthworm dissection, there is a dorsal and ventral side. This is its ventral or belly side. It's kind of hard to tell because of the glare. It's pretty easy with the earthworm. So I'm going to flip it over to the dorsal side. This is when you're looking at the back. So if I asked you to make a dorsal, anterior to posterior longitudinal cut, it would be like this. And that's what you're going to be doing with the earthworm. When you guys open it up, you guys will be making a dorsal, anterior to posterior longitudinal cut. Now a transverse cut, let me bring my pig back here. If I asked you to make a dorsal transverse cut near the anterior side, you would just do this. Again, all I'm saying is a dorsal transverse cut side to side near the anterior, like that. Same thing with the worm. If I asked you to make a dorsal back transverse side to side cut near the anterior, it would look like that. If I flip this over, I could now make a transverse cut along the middle, or a transverse cut along the middle here. All right, that's it for our anatomical positionings. Go ahead and answer the questions that go along with this video, and we'll be good to go for tomorrow.